and welcome. Welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching, and your host on this series. This is a place where you ask a question, and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know that I am not a therapist, and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Friday, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. I'll also give additional insights on topics such as life renewal, consciousness, how the universe works, astrology, healing, and various other life renewal topics. So let's get going with the first question. Now, our first question comes from Tanya, who is in Sebastopol. Tanya says, I've been a meditator for many years. Lately, I've been feeling stuck. I haven't been getting anything from my sessions. What should I do? It's a good question. It's a very good question. Thank you for asking it. The first thing that I would suggest is that you take a time out. Sometimes just taking a time out or a break for a short period of time is all you need. And then you'd be able to get back into the rhythm of meditating. The suggestion is if you're going to take a time out, take it for at least a week, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's however long you feel comfortable taking a time out, because you don't know, or at least I don't know, why you're getting stuck. There's definitely a reason for that, and it could be that you just need a time out. It could also be that it would be good for you to change your meditation style if you haven't. There's many forms of meditation out here, and so you can try to use another form of meditation. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned on one of the other videos, the whole purpose of meditation is non-meditation. So you could actually, during the day, just see if you can focus your mind in the present moment and see how long you can stay in that state. A lot of people aren't able to focus for 30 seconds or even a minute without having a thought come through that they attach to and they run off with. For you, because you've been meditating for quite a while, you may be able to focus on the present moment for up to a minute or maybe even longer. I remember hearing the Dalai Lama talk about this, and he said most people, if they can meditate for at least an hour, staying in the present moment, I'm sorry, not an hour. Oh, I said an hour. If you can stay focused for at least a minute, he considers that a success. And I certainly do too. So these are some things that you can do. The other thing is you also want to ask your higher mind or your higher self a question. Ask what it is you need. What is it? What is this next step for you? Because there may be another step for you with meditation. There's different phases of meditation, and you may be transitioning from one phase to another. I'm not sure. However, I would say take a break, see if you can meditate during the day of just staying in the present moment and see how long that lasts. Talk to your ask a question of your higher mind of what this is all about, and get some insight there. Try another form of meditation. You could also try walking meditation. I really like walking meditation when you're out in nature or walking around the neighborhood, focusing on nature, focusing on the trees and the flowers. And well, we're getting to a point where the flowers are going away because of the season. But you know what I mean. Focus on the present moment of walking. That's actually an excellent thing to do. So I hope that helps you. Please send me a note to let me know how you're going. I'd love to hear. Now, let's talk about animal helpers. Yes, animal helpers, AKA totems. I love animal helpers and animal totems. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware, or most of you are aware, that each of us has an animal helper who is with us from birth. And that particular animal is watching over you and helping you, usually behind the scenes. It was decades before I realized I actually had an animal helper. And once I did, let me tell you, I call on my animal helper all the time. What they do, in addition to helping you with your life, the traits that that animal has are traits that you need for your own well-being, for your own growth and development. You can figure out, you can actually call to your animal totem or animal helper and ask that animal to not necessarily show themselves to you, because it easily gets scared if they actually materialize in front of you. But they will find ways to make themselves known to you so that you know who they are. It's a wonderful, wonderful exercise. And I got to tell you, once you learn your animal totem and the animal knows that you know and you're aware of them, magic starts to happen, because it becomes a two-way street. Meaning you ask for help and they're there, or if they're there to offer you help, you know that they're there, and it makes it easier for them to help you. An example of an animal totem could be, maybe, let's just say, a lion. And lions are in groups. They love to hunt, but they also love to rest and relax and play. Maybe you need to learn how to relax and play in this lifetime. So it could be a lion. Now, the other thing with animal helpers, there are animal helpers who are here just to help you for a specific period of time. Maybe you're learning how to do something. Maybe you're writing a book, or you're doing some project and you need help from the other side. You can always call on a particular animal to help you with that. If I'm looking for more wisdom, more understanding, I will call on an owl in a heartbeat, because they represent wisdom and they'll help. If you need courage, you can call on the lion or the bear, or maybe you need to call on the badger, or but I'm sure you get the picture. I don't need to go through all of the animals. I just want you to know that you do have an animal helper. And it would be a good idea for you to start working with that animal helper, to ask that animal helper to show them, to let you know who they are and let you know that they're there. Another way to find out who your animal totem is paying attention to your own traits and your own sensibilities, and seeing if you can match that up with an animal. You can always go through some of the books to see if there's any animals that leap out at you. Think about the animals that you like, that you're drawn to. It's possible that one of those animals is your totem or is your animal helper. Let me tell you, we can all use all the help that we can get to get through this lifetime. And having an animal helper, that is a plus. So I hope that helps a little bit. Let's move on to our next question. Now, our next question comes from Carol, who is in Ashland, Oregon. She says, I've lived in Ashland most of my life, and I'd like to experience living someplace else before I die. I've been told astrology can help me choose a place to live. What are your thoughts about this? That is really good. That's a very good question. There is a form of astrology called, excuse me, it's called astrocartography. And what it does is it looks at the lines. One of the lines that they'd be looking at is the geodetic lines. And they're looking at your chart. They're taking the information on your chart, your Venus, Mars, whatever your planets are, and they're looking at a map of the world or the map of a country, and they're checking to see which of those lines go through that country or go through particular towns or states in that particular country. There are astrocartography specialists who are just really good at this. And if you're interested in finding one, I would suggest looking at various astrology websites, looking at the different conferences to see if you can look at the speakers to see if they have astrocartography as a specialty. You can also check with the astrocartography schools. I believe there's a couple of schools around, one in this country in particular. I don't remember the name of it. Excuse me. But I would look for the astrocartography schools first and see who is certified through them. Most astrologers, myself included, can look at an astrocartography chart and do a cursory reading of it, but we're not experts, or I'm not an expert in astrocartography. I would suggest that you go to someone who specializes in that, and they can certainly help you. Now, with astrocartography, you do want to be careful with concerning the different, I want to call it the different lines that you may consider moving to. Because in your chart, if you have a planet that is strong, meaning well aspected in relationship to other planets and is, in what we would call a very, high energy in a positive way, then that may be an energy that you want to enhance or maybe not. If you have a planet, say, let's just say it's Jupiter. Now with Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Well, you might want to move to a Jupiter line because you want to expand. But what do you want to expand? How is Jupiter in your chart? Is it well aspected with the other signs and planets? Is it strong? And in what area is it strong in? Is it strong in the area of play? Or is it strong in the area of work? Is it strong in the area of relationship? You have to take that into consideration too. And the astrocartography person should be able to give you more information about that. So I hope that helps. It's a lot of information, I know, but let me know where you are considering moving to. And let me know if you found an astrocartography person, specialist to help you. Now, if you'd like to know more about me, please pick up my book, And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. I wrote a memoir to not only talk about myself and the traumas and the journey that I've gone through in life to get to where I am, but I also talk about it in terms of what I needed to do to heal some of the trauma that I've experienced. You can heal trauma. And I would suggest that everyone actually needs to work on themselves by healing their trauma. So, to learn more about me, pick up my book, And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. You can find it at any of the online book venues, such as Barnes and Noble, Amazon, 8 Books, Target. There's a whole bunch of online bookstores where you can actually find book. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube station and hit that little bell there, or click on the bell so that you can be notified of upcoming events and anything that I am doing out here. So we've come to the end. I look forward to seeing you next week. And oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you to all of you for listening and showing up. Please send your comments to me at padmacoach at icloud.com. That's padmacoach at icloud.com. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.